this way. No. More. Yeah, it's okay. Mr. Onoja, please make sure you're captured there.
Okay. I can remove my face mask.
Yes, please.
Huh?
Yes, please. So we are going live now. Phones on silence. We give God praise and glory forevermore. Amen. Good evening, Abuja. I am Bolanle welcoming you to the show Unbroken. Today's episode is depression and how to get help. To stream this program live right about now, please follow us on Instagram at Unbroken with Bolanle. Depression is a serious condition that negatively affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. In contrast to normal sadness, clinical depression is persistent, often interferes with a person's ability to experience or anticipate pleasure, and significantly interferes with functioning in daily life. Depression is like a fog which clouds the mind of its victim with all their unhealthy experiences, making them feel dejected, hopeless, and gradually drain life out of them. Lately, suicide has been rampant in our society because some people fell into depression unknowingly. Due to accumulated damaging life events, some of these events may not necessarily be in the present, as most of the time depression is an end product of past sufferings like bereavement, abuse, neglect, peer pressure, bullying, and a host of unappealing situations people find themselves in. Other causes of depression are substance abuse, illness, and sometimes medication. Depression has nothing to do with physical look, age, or gender. It can happen to anybody. C.S. Lewis wrote, and I quote, "Mental pain is less dramatic than physical pain, but it is more common and also more hard to bear." According to World Health Organization, depression is a common mental disorder affecting more than 264 million people worldwide, meaning there are a lot of people suffering from this emotional state. Life is worth living, so let us learn to deal with people in love because we just do not know the pain they carry on the inside. To discuss this with me, I have Issac Onoja in the studio. He's an emotional intelligence expert. Good evening, Issac.
Good evening, Bolanle. How are you?
I'm doing very well. It's so good to bring you into the studio out of your very tight schedule. We are honored to have you here. And also with me, I have my teammate, Elvis. Good evening, Elvis. It's good to have you guys on the studio. Just before we go into the show proper, let's take a few comments from the public on the subject matter. We will be right back. So we're going to question after now.
Okay.
Interactions. Let's go. Oh, you're not showing. Sorry. Mr. Onoja, tilt a little bit.
Okay.
We are not hearing anything in the studio.
Yeah.
We're not hearing anything in the studio. Please let me signal to them. It shouldn't be. People should be hearing what they're saying. Quite a number of people go through this on a daily basis. It's really a big deal. I mean, but just like you said, that the word depression has been abused. So how do we now know the difference? And we'll get there.
Yeah.
We can't hear you in the studio. Come, Joe.
satisfied with where we are in life, or when we have certain desires that have not been met. Using myself as an example, I'm a mature, single, over 40, I'm not married. And when I start comparing myself with my, like my classmates, my age mates, I tell myself that, hi,
the man has left me with my fate. You guys are teaching me in the hard way and I'm learning.
He's not producing you today now.
If I think about it and think about it,
just like chilling
to be depressed.
But those
are to get out of depression is to trust God, trust that God has a plan. What are the positive things? Okay, I'm not married yet. It means I have extra time. I can accomplish some things. I can better myself and all that, make myself more attractive and all that.
Depression is loneliness. It's when one is depressed, when you feel isolated, when you happen to see yourself being alone, when you are downcast. That is depression. Depression leads to suicide. Depression can lead to murder. Depression can lead to many kind of sickness or problems. There is a solution for everything. Use your time of loneliness to be praying to God and to be seeking the face of God, and you get over it.
Armed Forces Radio.
Yes, sir.
Wow, thank you. Thanks for staying with us. We're right back in the studio. And if you're just joining us, the show is Unbroken. And the topic for today is depression and how to get out of it. And my guest in the studio tonight to help us do justice to this topic is Issac Onoja. Welcome again, Issac. We're going into the show proper now. I have a question, and I'm very sure I'll be speaking the minds of many other people. In your own word, Issac, what is depression?
Yeah, okay. Depression is a state in which an individual experiences a downtime, loss of interest in activities, especially functional activities, and does not see any reason to be alive, and it is characterized by loss of energy, loss of excitement about the things that prior to that time excites him or her. So it's a state of just losing interest completely about the things that gives us that bounce, that upbeat in life, and that's it. And when we talk about depression, the word has been overly used that many times we've lost the meaning. You find Nigerians saying any little thing, it's depressing, it's depressing. No, depression can be clinical. And clinical meaning that somebody can be depressed because the neurons of the body, of the brain.
Okay.
Now, they have what we call the serotonergic nerve. Sorry, I have to use these jargons because if you don't understand the basis, you may not be able to know how this came about and how to resolve it. Now, some people are born, and some people are over time, because of some of their experiences, have issues with neurotransmitters. One of the neurotransmitters that is responsible for your daily upbeat and your mood, your elevated mood, is called serotonin. Serotonin is produced by the serotonergic nerve in the brain.
Wow.
So if you have few serotonergic nerve, and those serotonergic nerve cannot produce sufficient serotonin to keep you upbeat, you'll be depressed. And we call that clinical depression. Will be diagnosed in the hospital. And that is somebody is classically diagnosed to have clinical depression when you have that kind of situation. So you are tested to see the insulin. The serotonin, is it sufficient to keep your daily activities? If it's not, that's depression, and it has a management regimen how it can be managed. Now you now have non-clinical depression, which is mostly environmental. We have more non-clinically depressed people than we have clinically depressed people. Now, non-clinical depressive people can be fellows who have lost, maybe you have lost a spouse, you have lost a job, you're like one of the people in the Vox Pop said that she's not married, she's a mature single, she's not married, and that could be a problem. But let me just say something quickly about that. You see, we complicate the issues of life when we think that achievement or living life, living your purpose depends on marriage. Now, that is where we talk about expectations beginning to affect our daily lives. You don't see, marriage is one thing you add to your purse to continue on your journey to achieve purpose.
Exactly.
If it doesn't come, you continue.
Continue with life.
But if you think, because many people they are victims of environments where they have been told that if you're not married, you're not complete. That is a classical LIE. It's a lie. You're whole. If somebody tells you without a man, that's not true. And that's why we have people getting into relations thinking that man is going to solve my problem, or that woman, I can't wash my clothes now, I'll leave for somebody to wash. The woman is on that side saying, me too, I cannot wash. So you push it and it's at the middle there. So lots of, your marital status could affect you in many times. And some people fail in exams. You failed an exam.
Especially children. Yes,
children, teenagers, and heartbreaks. Some people have a heartbreak.
True.
I don't love you anymore.
True.
And I'm walking away. I don't know, you understand? So all those things can, Now, but there's a difference between depression and sadness. Sadness is transient, is short-lived. Depression, if somebody is diagnosed or said to be depressed, if you have sadness consistently for 2 weeks or persistently now. Persistent sadness for 2 weeks is depression. Now, there is a difference between an emotion and a mood. Sadness is an emotion. Depression is a mood. So the difference between an emotion and a mood is time.
Wow.
Sadness is short-lived. Depression takes a longer time.
Wow.
So it's very, very important. And once you begin to lose interest in your daily activities,
the things that once given you joy.
Yes, you now have what we call the TFA. You think,
what's that?
You feel, and you act in a certain way. You feel worthless. You feel powerless. You feel useless. And now I see a lot of these things happening in our environment. You see, when people feel powerless, they begin to seek power. That's why you go to some organizations. Somebody whose job is just to receive people and make them sit down to see the CEO or something, takes another new role to start interviewing people. When did you how many places have you been to? And all that. That person has a powerless position, is stretching his arm to look for how to gain back power. It's just like, for instance, a husband is telling his wife, don't you know I'm your husband? There's a problem because the woman knows. So if you are saying it and trying to push it down her throat, it means something.
Problem.
So feeling of worthlessness, powerlessness, and uselessness. That I'm useless. I feel that nobody likes me.
Wow.
Nobody celebrates me and all that. And after a while, if it's not quickly resolved, the person could slip into depression. And what happens is this: is when serotonin levels go down. In science is spiritual. Science tells you the why things happen. Many people look for what happened. Science will tell you why. You lost a job. Yes. But is that the only job on the planet? No. You are 45. Yes. And you are not married. And so what? So who determines the age? Do you understand? Human beings trap other human beings.
True.
They bring their own situation. I read in the paper the other day, one man was saying, if you are 40 years old and you never fly for aeroplane, he said it don't happen to you with that. I said, come on.
What do you mean?
What do you mean about that? do you mean if I don't have anywhere to fly to, should I go ahead? Do you understand me?
You need to fly around
because somebody said if you are not 40, that's not true. So people use, if he was able to fly before 40, that's why he's talking that thing. He's talking.
Exactly.
I don't have any place to go, and I'm 60, and I've not boarded an aeroplane. I don't need to board an aeroplane. So,
wow.
So people will now listen to that and now say, people who have what we call low self-esteem and who don't have emotional immunity. Once that hits them, they now say, and we are from the same village, and see this man now. He has. Everyone has a time to their own experiences and to their own achievements.
Wow.
No two people are life mates.
True.
You're a classmate.
We can never be life mates. Wow.
So people say we're classmates. We're classmates. See, the man is a minister now, and me, I'm struggling. Wow. Hey, that's not what you should be looking at. What are you doing? What is your current activity? Is it in the direction of your purpose? Because if you look at somebody else, you might lose your own.
True.
You lose your position. Like before Michael Phelps, the world's swimmer, before he left swimming, the competition he had, the man who was supposed to come first, the photographer caught him checking out Michael Phelps. And that split second, it turned to check where Michael Phelps was the same time Michael Phelps used to defeat him. So you are looking at somebody else as your competitor. Meanwhile, your competitor is not another person. You are competing against time and yourself.
Exactly. Thank you
so
so much.
It's you and time, not
Thank you so much. I believe so much you are going to have a great time on the show because we're just starting. In case you're out there and you love to be part of the show, we will announce the phone line in a bit. We just want to lay a foundation, and you're going to be hearing Isaac to speak more than we are going to be asking him questions, and just to help each and every one of us out there who have one or two questions in their mind. So prepare your phone line ready, and then we'll announce the phone line in a bit. Can somebody fall into depression without knowing?
Yeah, you could. You could fall into you have interplay of hormones. It's just like a woman now. If during your menstrual period you have those mood swings, sometimes you don't even know how you react. You're unconscious about your reaction. You are now controlled by something that is higher than your normal conscious state. So if you had an experience that affected you so much that now distorted your hormonal system, you could slip into, you don't even know. You could start behaving in certain ways that you don't even know yourself. Until somebody comes and says, "Oh boy, anytime when I come your house, you they come greet me now. I don't come 3 times now. You never come." You just say, I just want to stay inside house. Now those are signs. When people begin to withdraw and to stay alone, become isolated. Somebody who was very everywhere before, active, oh, come on, hey, let's go. Suddenly begins to say, I beg, just bring the water to the room, bring the food to the room. Somebody who wants to eat with everyone and now starts doing that. So something could be happening, and he doesn't even really, he's not in his conscious mind to say, this is happening to me. What can I do?
Wow. Life happens to each and every one of us at different times.
Yeah.
And we have different level of endurance and, the way we react to things. Some people are very strong. Some people are in the middle. Some people are very low. The way each of this category of people respond to issues differs. Now, when life happens to people, whatever level, how can people control themselves not to fall into depression? What are the things we should do? This is like teaching us, because when some people get into depression, they will need to get help to get out, and some may even go with it. So how can people help themselves when things happen? What are the steps? What are the things to do to prevent getting into depression?
Okay, there's a law we call the law of holes. The law of holes.
Holes.
Rami. How should I say Rami?
Okay.
The law of holes. The law of holes says that. The first law of holes says that when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. When you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. Second law, when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging and cry for help. So many people do not want to cry for help. Many people are so proud. And again, many people are not able to cry for help because of what the society has said about their gender. For instance, they say men don't cry. But do you know what tears does for you as a human being? It helps you to lubricate your emotional brain. But they say men don't cry. I went to a school the other day and a boy was crying into the class and this lady came and said, come on, what are you doing? Men don't cry. I stopped her. I said, do you know what you're doing? You're trying to destroy another man for another woman.
True.
When they say, why are these men like this? See, people are crying. This man is just looking at. This man is going through. Yes, somebody did something wrong somewhere. We are all emotional beings, male and female. But parents, that's why we'll talk about parenting. Parenting has become very serious now. Parents have done a lot of damage to many children. They should be allowed to cry. Express yourself. This is how I'm feeling. Once you express the way you're feeling, you can get help. So there is help. But you must, first of all, you identify, okay, this is my situation. Life has happened. COVID-19, you've lost your job. Bank manager now, no more job. Now, what do? You have 2 children and you have a beautiful wife. What do? Now, you have to, I love driving. If you drive a manual car, there's gear 1, right? Gear 2. When you're starting gear 1, speed increase gear 2, increase 3, 4, and 5, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're climbing a hill with gear 5 and suddenly you discover that you're not moving as fast, what do?
You will change the gear.
You change to 4. Sometimes you have to change to 3 to be able to pull. The same thing is happening now. If you're gear 5, bank manager, and suddenly there's COVID and they say you're laid off, you are supposed to step down so that you can have some energy to push up.
God bless
Once
you.
you get up again, your life will pick up again.
God bless
But
you.
some people are now stuck in gear 5. And once you are stuck in gear 5, what happens? You are climbing a hill, you're stuck in gear 5, the car engine will go off.
True.
The next thing that will happen, you begin to roll backward. The next thing there will be an accident and you may die. So what I'm telling you, humble yourself. Many people who are listening to me, you have lost a job, you have lost a very big position, you are too proud. It's your pride that's going to kill you because what is it? If you're strong, you're still strong, you just lost a job. You can wash cars, can't you? You say, what are you talking? Don't you know I'm a bank manager? Hello? Once you have no food to eat, you cannot feed your family, you cannot feed what kind of bank manager
Are you?
Now you're no longer in the bank. You must feed, you must eat food. A military man, this is a military radio. Let me tell you of a military man who told me a story. One colonel, we had a meeting with him and he was telling me, he said, Onoja, I said, sir, he said, when they went to Liberia, during the ECOMOG peacekeeping stuff, they were in the jungle. And this day, he was about to die from thirst. He was dehydrated, no water to drink. And in that jungle, there was a small body of water, but there was a dead body in it that was decaying. He told me, he said, if he refused to drink the water, he will die. Listen now. If he didn't drink the water, he will surely die. But if he drank, he may die. See the difference? This one is sure. If he didn't. But if he did, he may or may not. And he drank the water.
And he lived.
He lived. He's alive. That's why he had a conversation with me. Now, once you're at war, you have to stay alive. First, not about your clothes,
Survival
about you.
first.
You have to survive. So once the war is over, we'll go check our houses, whether our houses are still there. If they are not there, we build new houses. But for now, we must stay alive. So if you lost your job, or you lost something during this COVID situation and it's taking you, now you must survive. So move from that gear 5, step down to 4. Come on, it's not working. Move to 3. It's not working. Take it to 2. If it's not working, put it on 1 and start afresh. There is always, let me tell you, you will look back after some time at those positions that you left, and you find that actually you did some movement.
Wow.
So don't just think that it will end there. No. You are not always disadvantaged. There's an advantage. Look for it.
True.
Every human being has got an advantage. The thing is that many of us are not looking at our advantage.
True.
We are looking at our disadvantage.
True.
You use your strength to lift your weakness. When I'm weak, I buy my weakness. I don't buy my strength. So people should look at that. Step down. You are doing makeup before. COVID now, people they wear masks, they are not buying makeup again. What do? You must feed. But again, you're somebody who has energy. Can you put your energy into something else? And wait for when this is over? We'll return to buying it now.
Sure.
It's not going to be like this forever.
Thank you so
much. But we'll do
much.
something else so that we can be able to leave this situation. Then once everything is normal, like they say in the military, when the war is over, they do a debrief. They say officers that say, men, the war is over. We are returning to civilian territory. So everybody, these are your friends. Civilians are your friends and not your enemies anymore. If they don't tell the soldiers that, they still carry the same mentality that at war, when you are at war, if you are in the jungle and a grass is moving in the way you don't like, you send one bullet there to calm everything that is there, calm it down there.
In a civilian environment.
In a civilian environment, you can't do that. But if you are not debriefed, if you are not told the war is over, if your brain did not accept that the war is over, if you enter the place and you see somebody moving, you drop a bullet there. So it is very important for us to know this is a war situation, and all we need to do is to stay alive. Once we recover from all this, we'll go back to our businesses and life will return to normal.
Thank you so much, Onoja. While you were speaking a while ago, you said when people have this issue, get depressed, they should get help. Now, how accessible are these kind of help? I mean, people like you, how accessible are you? And how affordable?
Yes.
Judging from our own environment, everyday life, can Nigerians afford these services, and how available, how accessible are they?
Okay, the services are available, they are accessible, and they are affordable. Right. The thing is, many Nigerians, and I want you to listen to this very seriously, many Nigerians do not know how to negotiate. All right,
please hold your thought right there. We are throwing the phone lines open, and the number to call is 0703 542-1751. 0703 542-1751. Please call in and speak to Issac Onoja. He will be here to handle whatever question you have. 0703 542-1751. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So in that sense, to negotiate. Now somebody will say, okay.
Can we take this call? Please, let's take it quickly. Hello, who is there and where are you calling from? Hello, who is on the line? Hello, can you hear us? Okay. Hello, good evening. Are you there? Oh, hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Good evening. Who is on the line and where are you calling from? Oh my goodness. We have so much calls trying to come in at the same time. Hello, who is here? Who is on the line? Hello? Who is on the line? Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Umaru Waziri from Mararaba.
Good evening, Umaru. Please, what is your question or contribution?
I just turned, my radio. I don't know where the subject we are talking about.
Oh, you don't know the topic we're talking about?
Yes, I just turned on the radio.
Okay, it's about depression. Do you have any question about depression? Sorry, please. Listen to the show and then call us back and ask your question. Hello, who is there?
Good evening. My name is Judith.
Good evening, Judith. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ado.
Ado, please, what's your question or contribution?
Yeah, contribution. I actually want to talk about my own story.
Please go ahead quickly in 1 minute.
Yeah, 10 years ago, I had an accident and I had the head of femur, which was actually pulled off.
Wow.
And presently, I'm actually using shoe lead.
Okay.
And when we were talking about this, they said depression is actually things that have actually passed, and they are like occurring. So sometimes when I look at it, I can't actually have a job because I can't stand for long.
Wow.
I can't sit for long. I can't walk for long. And when I came here to Abuja 2 years ago, I needed to have an operation which one to buy a head of femo.
Wow.
So when I'm in my room, I cry out because I actually don't know what to do. I don't have a relationship, and I'm 38 years old.
Wow.
So nobody wants to get married to someone who is actually limping, using a shoe race, having psychological. But I won't call it psychological because every Nigerian is actually depressed because one way or the other. So right now, with the COVID-19, right now I'm actually stuck into my room. I don't want to watch the TV with my family members because I just feel nobody understands how I feel. Then 3 days ago, I saw some people actually picking stones in my area, and they want to start selling stones. I was like, do they really sell stones? So I started picking, but even at right now that I'm talking to you, I just pick a few. I can't even beg for love. So how do I get help? Who do I go to really help me out? Because I'm really in my room present. I don't even want to eat their dinner because a whole lot of Nigerians are depressed, and I'm one of them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judith, for calling in. Please, Isaac.
Beautiful girl.
Thank you so much.
Did you hear her voice?
Yes, please.
The strength of her voice.
Yeah, and the confidence.
So, Judith, I must tell you something. You have a strong place. Don't allow anything take it from you. You know, you made a statement that is not true. That nobody wants to get into a relationship with somebody. It's not. You see, love is not about all those things you say.
True, I believe you.
When somebody really loves you, he will support you. It's just that, you know, the way we see love around here is it's the rosy side we see. Sometimes I've seen a case where somebody who was physically challenged was married by somebody who was, to support, just to give that support because of the love.
I've seen quite a number
from this Judith is such a sweet, from where she was speaking from. So I want to tell you something. You can get help. The first help you get is from yourself. To be positive about your situation. Yes, you had an accident. It's not, you did not plan it. Yes, this happened to you, and you have succeeded to stay alive for this long. I like what you said, that you saw some people getting stones to go and sell. You now asked, do people buy stones? Yes, they do. There are so many things that we have not discovered. The other day I was talking to someone and I asked, where was Mount Everest before it was discovered? And I had so many answers. Somebody said Cameroon. This one said, but it has been exactly the same place, the same spot has been moved. Now, the first thing you must do for yourself, Judith, is to discover that within you lies an unlimited power. You are not limited by your physical environment. Now that you have your brain intact, and the way you spoke is coming from a point of mental strength. You have that strength.
I agree with you.
Do you understand? You don't have to be, look, if you have hands and legs, now I'm a brain trainer. If you have hands and legs, you are overqualified. What you need is a sound mind, a right brain that is functioning well. If you begin to set your things, your life in order by saying, you can start that, like writing your story. Put it like what you just said now. Somebody will be sitting down there and hearing you speak. That person is on. He's not the one to speak to anybody. But you now, you are speaking. You called. You have taken you have made an action to call. The mark of intelligence is action. Anybody who says is intelligent and doesn't take action is not intelligent. If you have taken an action to make it, that call you made is an action you took. What you call Isaac Newton said in the Newton's first law of motion. He said everybody continues in a state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line, except compelled by the external force to act otherwise.
Thank you so much, Onoja. Let me quickly announce the number again. If you're there and you're still trying to call us, the number to call is 0703 542 1751. 0703 542 1751. We do have a call now. Hello, who is there and where are you calling from?
Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Who from Kurudu? Israel from Kurudu. Please, what's your contribution or question?
Yes, I just want to ask two questions.
Go ahead, please, quickly in 1 minute.
What can you do to avoid entering the depression mode.
Okay, I was going to answer that a while ago. Your second question?
Which are they recommended fruit to help reduce it?
It's okay. It's all right. Questions taken. Thank you so much for calling in. Hello, who is there? And where are you calling from? Okay, we lost that call. Please, the question quickly.
Okay, now we're talking about prevention. Okay,
Let's take this call quickly. So sorry. Hello, who is there? Where are you calling from? Can you hear me? Good evening. All right, nice. Who is there? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello,
Good evening. Who is on the line and where are you calling from?
my name is Paul Ilan. I'm calling from Lokogoma.
Paul from Lokogoma. Good evening.
Yes. Good evening.
What's your contribution or question?
I'd like to be the man you invited.
Thank you
He's a
so much.
psychologist. In second to the last caller. He was able to keep the fact that the lady had mental strength. So that the lady can pick up from there.
Yeah.
I was once in a state, I had the born in 2016, and a lot of people thought I would give up. And especially people who have some religious beliefs. When something like that happens to you, they tell you, where was God? But I was able to hold you because I was not listening to encouraging words. And the last caller was about how do you recover from depression.
Yeah.
I want to advise that what you listen to is very important. And who you listen to is very, very important.
Thank you so much for your call. We appreciate.
What is your heart fixed upon? Thank you very much, and thanks for the program.
God bless you. Please, let's answer those questions before.
yeah,
take
you
the
talked
next
about how do you prevent depression. Now, preventing depression, number one, is to be very sociable, socialize. Many of us are not socializing, we're isolating. I'm not talking of the COVID-19 isolation. I'm talking about isolation coming from hatred for one another. Many Nigerians, we hate ourselves. The Hausa man is fighting with the Igbo man, the Igbo man with the Yoruba man, the Yoruba man. All those things removes humanity from us.
True.
Human beings are, first of all, social beings.
True.
Each time you begin to isolate yourself from people, you are going into the red zone. And once you get to the red zone, it's not a pleasant zone to be. We are to support one another. It's a support system. So to prevent depression is to socialize, have people, have interaction. Hey, Bonali, let's meet and let's have lunch together at 2 o'clock, just to chat. Now, I did energy medicine. There's an energy that every human being possesses, and there's a charge that you get from another human being.
True.
Like you charge your battery. You say, battery low, I cannot call. Battery low, I cannot call. There are human beings that people you go to that charge your battery. Now, and you must go to the people who have the capacity to charge your battery. Don't go to people who will discharge your battery.
True.
Because like you have battery chargers, you have battery dischargers. So you must look for such. So now to prevent it, don't do that. Then exercise. How many of you exercise? How many of you walk around? How many of you swim? Do you know that swimming is an antidepressant? Swimming, you can read about, anything I tell you, I don't believe it until you have read it.
Search for it. All right.
Swimming is an antidepressant because as you swim, it makes the serotonergic nerve to release a lot of serotonin. Now, somebody asked for foods that you can take. You know pepper? These are our pepper. Pepper has a lot of serotonin. Pepper.
Wow.
Is one. Some people are like, I don't like pepper. You take pepper, your bounce changes. That's why you see Yoruba people. You see their bounce. Bonale.
I eat pepper too.
And then the other one was talking about people, how to prevent depression. And another thing you must remember is that your greatest asset is your mind. Guard it jealously. If people tell you what you are not, reject it.
True, I hear you.
Do you understand? Don't let another product cannot tell another product that is not good. It's only the manufacturer that determines the quality of a product. not a product of you. So another human being cannot tell you are not good. Anybody who tries to put you down is already down.
Yeah, we are going towards the end of the program, and I know so many people have been trying to reach us. Should you want to speak to Issac Onoja, please do send us an SMS on the number 0703-542-1751. After the show, would you like to speak to Issac on the topic for today? Would you need help? You're still going to tell us about how to get help and if they are accessible. Please, the number to send an SMS to is 0703-542-1751. So Issac, round up this and then tell us how accessible are these services and how affordable it is to Nigeria, and then we'll round up in 1 minute.
Okay, now the services are available. You can just go online and type. If you just type help, mental help for depression, you find a lot of people that...
Sorry, I mistakenly, I just picked a call now. Okay. Hello, who is there? All right, please, we can't hear you. Do send us an SMS on the same number, 0703-542-1751, to speak to Issac Onoja after the show. How accessible are these services?
Now, the accessible and affordability comes from, now, if your case is something that will have to take a while, then you have to do several sessions and all that.
Is it affordable?
It's affordable
and accessible. All right. Thank you so much, Issac Onoja. We may have to call you to come back to the show and help us possibly on this kind of a topic or any other topic. Thank you so much. I would like to conclude this way. The frequent attempt to conceal mental pain increases the burden. People should learn to talk about their pain instead of wallowing in self-pity and gradually running from life. A very big thank you to Issac Onoja for being part of today's episode. We look forward to many more outings with you on the show. I want to especially thank everyone that called onto the show. You all made the show very interactive every time. Thank you. A special appreciation to my production team member Elvis. Till we come your way next time, same station. Help someone, show care, show concern, give love, let God's love flow through you to someone in need, so we can all build a healthy society. I am Bolanle. Bye for now. Thank you, Issac, for being part of the show.
Thank you for having me.